Hello, Scorpio. I am lighting my sage to just cleanse the energy of the space before I do your reading. I thank you so much for joining me. This is a general collective message. What do you need to know right now, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising? Please keep in mind that we all do have an eighth house part of our birth charts that does play a factor in influencing our lives. I'm going to catch your vibes from my own real life oracle deck here. It's going to be this one. Scorpio. And I'm going to grab a few more other cards from here or there as spirit directs. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. Whew. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in, Scorpio cross watchers. I do want to let you know that I'm aligned with love and light and God, and I'm here of service of the greatest and highest good of all of you guys. So thank you for allowing me to be of service in this way for you. I'm just going to grab a bit more for you here, Scorpio. Please, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it, it is yours, and I ask that you take it as it resonates and leave the rest for others, all right? Oop, you got a lot. I knew it was coming. Wow, how crazy is this? You got one more from the spiritually selected that is coming to you here, Scorpio. You've got quite a few cards, and I will dive into each of these cards for you. Already, I'm feeling some Scorpios who are having some issues in the bedroom. I don't want to say it like that, but like with your romantic partnership, you know what I mean? Feeling a little neglected or that kind of thing. I feel how it doesn't necessarily say that in this cards at all, but I'm feeling in my body as if it's important to speak up and to cultivate those kinds of moments of togetherness if that is what you do yearn for within your partnership. So there's nothing wrong with it. Like, who else are you supposed to get to with that? You know, your partner. You should be able to be open and communicate. It might feel a little funny or weird, but hey, you know, who else is it? So, Scorpio, take this as it resonates. You have a superiority complex. So, superiority complex is sometimes some people think they know best or they know better. Okay. They may find themselves that they have adopted a superiority complex over other people that they love in their lives or other people that they may oversee to the point where it disempowers the other individual. So the other person becomes a little small. They're waiting for their cues, the red lights, the green lights, to let them know when it's okay to proceed or whether they should or not, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes this is a malicious superiority complex, like someone who's a know-it-all who thinks that they just have all the answers and you just, you know, are stubborn and not listening to them or whatever. But sometimes this is a caring and loving individual who's like, please don't make any mistakes ever, because I've learned from those so terribly, and I couldn't stand it if you know, didn't avoid the pitfalls that I have experienced, and I'm wishing that you would, right? So I feel this here, and I want to say that sometimes that superior person is someone else, and sometimes it's you. Okay, Scorpio, I'm not trying to pull anyone's covers here, but nobody has any greater say so over anyone else's life. We are all individuals on our own unique paths and journeys, and we deserve to be at an even at an equal we're all at an equal baseline. You know what I mean? We deserve to have that fair, equal standpoint. The superiority complex indicates that somebody is stepping over the boundaries here and attempting to control more than what is really within their power and control. Sometimes there could even be reprisal that is feared, or retaliation that is feared, or I fear disappointing you. I don't want to hurt your feelings, so I guess I'll do what you think is best, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas what is best for the soul is what the soul wants to do, but the soul doesn't feel safe and comfortable enough to explore that with this superior person snuffing that out. I also want to say the superior person may be right. They may know better. This superior person might be like, please don't use drugs. I'm a recovering addict and I know how horrible that can be, you know? And this, you know, other person is like, I've got to learn my own lessons. My soul desired to come here and experience overcoming drug addiction. And that means I got to do some drugs and get my hands dirty. Okay. So you don't necessarily understand or know what is within the soul's divine path or blueprint. And neither does the person who's living that life either. It's within each of us all. And some things just are destined to be followed through by divine plan. So it's not like one is right or wrong. It's about who say it really is. Honesty is the next card to come out here, Scorpio. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So I love the purples in this card. Purple is the crown chakra, and it is your spirituality, your wisdom, your divine connection. Okay. I love how it's pretty much all around the border, meaning like mostly within you, okay, is where the truth needs to be anchored in. Okay. You can't always expect it from other people, but when you're rooted in truth, you can sense when others are not coming from a truthful state of being. Okay. Also, I feel here how it's important to recognize how even if your truth feels like a very real truth, you may not have to shove it down other people's throats. Okay. And I'm not saying that you are or you have, but, when you are able to agree to disagree and respect another person's belief or perspective, that leaves the space for them to honor and respect you the same. Okay. So that's what I see here with this superiority complex, and the honesty is just about respecting who we are and what we have power and control over, and everyone's unique ability to decide for themselves. So the next card here is the Knight of Wands. So look. Let me just say right now, Scorpio, these other cards here feel make me feel like you are very much focusing on the outer world and other people at this time. And I'm not saying that it's not warranted to do so. You know what's going on in your life, but the cards feel to me, and I'm getting the vibe like you have all these feelers out, trying to make sure everyone's going to be okay here, there, wherever, because you care, right? And this card is encouraging you to pull your focus back in, okay? Because you're not achieving anything, not what you want to achieve, by stretching your energy out that thin and frazzled and worrying and fretting and all these things, right? You're not achieving the greater and higher good, and in fact you're harming your energy here. So this Knight of Wands indicates a need to pull your energy into yourself moment by moment, okay? Because sometimes it is time to focus on those other people, but sometimes it's not. Okay, Scorpio, you've got to start being honest about when it's time to do what in your life, and not get lost in the headspace or lost in the bathroom, or lost sniffing around other people to make sure that they're doing XYZ, this or that. Now, I'm not saying to let your kids slack off, but there's a certain micromanaging or overbearing hover parent feeling I'm feeling here that isn't necessary, okay? Because we all live and breathe another day, and everything that we experience is in the divine plan for us to do so. And you being the healthiest version of yourself and illuminating your vibrational frequency is what would bring the healing and the smoothness to these patterns that you see. So the Knight of Wands is about pulling your energy in into yourself and focusing on your moment by moment and which moment illuminates you the most. So what lights you up the best? What is your highest excitement? She is beating that drum with a fire and a passion and a smile on her face, not because anyone told her to, but because she freaking wants to, Scorpio. So, and I see the four pillars here, the four wands, candles, whatever, four wands, pillars. What am I thinking? Am I a tarot card reader? I don't know. What do you think? All right. So Knight of Wands, there's four of them there. There's four freaking wands. So what I'm saying is that's a stable foundation. So building a stable foundation for yourself, Scorpio, of fitting in these kinds of moments that make you smile. All right. Smiling is healthy, and doing things that make you smile, make you really shine from the inside out. It illuminates your vibrational frequency. It raises your vibe, right? You know what that means. So Spirit is saying with these four wands here that it's important to begin plugging in things regularly and often, foundationally, that raise your vibrational frequency. If that means allowing yourself to have your coffee and smoke and read your novel at the end of the night for 30 minutes because that really raises your vibe and it really helps you to feel like you enjoy what you're up to, then hey, so be it. We are also unique, okay? We are all, if you want to take up a dancing lesson, an art lesson, if you want to go for a walk in the park, if you want to decide to start digging that summer pool that you've always been putting off, whatever, start beading again, watching those old movies that you like, these kinds of things, ways to spend your moments as opposed to a different way, a more lower vibe way, more challenging way, and also more focused on the outer world and other people who you don't really have control over anyway way. Okay. Now, I couldn't make this up if I tried. We are already here in this reading, and the cards that you have are number 11, individuality, and number 13, effort. How crazy is that? So 11 is an angel number. So maybe you've been seeing, 1111, these kinds of numbers here and there outwardly, but individuality, this whole reading is screaming that we are all individuals here. You are, and so are other people in your life. Okay. And everyone's allowed to do what they want to do. So are you, Scorpio. So I feel how making peace with other people doing what they want to do and allowing yourself to do what you want to do too is really what is being called here. This effort 13 is typically, I like the number 13. That is, has always good things have happened to me on the 13th of the month. And I've always liked this number. However, this effort, okay, so the yellow on this card speaks about solar plexus, your unique individuality and who you are as a person. And that, look at the red, it matches with this individuality, but someone is efforting at trying to either fit in or trying to really rebel and be an individual here. I'm in the collective, Scorpio. You know what this is in your life. Either yourself or someone in your life is spending a lot of effort, trying very hard, either to be an individual or to blend in and not be. Okay, you know where this is at? And this could be because so far the environment has been rather stifling. My way is the best way. How dare you have an original thought? How dare you go against what I think is best for you? I'm sorry, Scorpio, but these are the things that are coming to the surface here. You know where this lands in your life, and you can rectify this. When you're aware, you go, oh my gosh, you know what? That does sound like something we say. We're not going to do that anymore. You know what? Next time little man comes to me with his ideas, I'm going to hear him out, get excited, and maybe even let him play and do it, right? Whatever this can be. Sometimes we don't have time for our children's creativity, busy day schedule, whatever. Let it land wherever it lands in your life. Someone comes to you with something and you don't have the time of day to give it to you, but they may have been very excited to bring it to you, waiting however long to bring this to you, and you dismiss it because you have other things going on and you have no idea how it lands with that other person. Okay, so I really feel here how taking the time to notice where your people are at, not being dismissive, but not being intrusive. Ooh, it's a fine line, Scorpio. I'm sending love. All right, I'm sending you all kinds of love. Now, you also have the card number 62, grounding. That's what you need. Connecting with nature is needed. Keeping yourself grounded and shielded is essential to protect your energy right now. See how to clear my throat right now? Shielded. I have clear my throat. Maybe you feel like you've been backed into a corner. Maybe you feel like you have a little bit of a rougher edge because of some of the things you've been exposed to recently or in your past or whatever this is with the throat chakra, and adjusting it to fit your scenario in a better and more healthy way for you and other people. It's not just all about you. I know I say your life is all about you. Without you, there is nothing. But in this instance, this is how you're co-creating with other people and how they are receiving you, and therefore how your relationships are unfolding and how their growth is determined, because some people take their cues from you. They're learning from you, and they're in fact learning how these kinds of relationships would work by watching you. So this grounding factor and shielding your energy is super necessary. If you don't have good weather where you're at, Scorpio, you can close your eyes and take a few very deep breaths and turn into an inner landscape that is warm and inviting and outdoors in nature. You can create it out of thin air, nothing at all, or you can create it through a memory that you have been to, a place you've visited before, right? So whatever works for you, but you can go there in your inner realms. And if you sit there for a minute and breathe slowly and let your body relax, you can tap in with the grounding power of nature there. All right. Even if your weather's not good, but if your weather's good, go outside. What are you thinking? Now, even just a few minutes on your smoke break or your morning break or whatever you have going on, 5 minutes outside and allowing the sun rays to touch your skin and feeling it and acknowledging it and connecting with it and harnessing that and allowing it and turning around so you can feel it all over on the other side again, that can really help to rejuvenate and pep up your energy and detoxify your energy from some of the clinginess that might be settling in with you as well. Because I honestly feel this, Scorpio, this is not a one-way street. This isn't one person only does this and everybody else is just innocent bystanders to get caught in that web. No, this is kind of something we all do back and forth here and there, depending on the circumstance or the scenario. But you, as the person who's on your spiritual awakening journey, you have higher awareness. You can see the people and the patterns that I'm talking about in your life here. And when you step forward, you will be able to take actionable steps with your own awareness and empowerment to respond differently, to show up differently, to have a more commanding presence in the way that you would like to have. Now, the next card that you have is number 12, need help. I love that 12 is there, 1 and 2. So that's 1, you reaching out for someone else, 2, for some kind of an assistance. That 1 + 2 is 3, and 3 is the catalyst for the biggest changes that we might ever make in our lives. The reasons why we step fully out of our comfort zone and communicate or make connections or get creative. And then kaboom, things shift in a huge way, but you don't know it because it's always darkest before dawn, Scorpio. So the card is need help. Your guides and ancestors are all around you. Ask for their help if you need assistance. With your free will, they cannot help until you ask. Wow. Look how with your free will, they cannot help until you ask. So even the divine who wants to help you can't infringe upon your free will boundaries. How do we think we can infringe upon one another? How in the heck do we think it's okay to infringe upon one another? All right. So I encourage you, Scorpio, to rely on spirit, God, source, creator, higher power, higher self, whoever it is that you pray to, angels, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, whoever you pray to. It doesn't matter because that's the one who is hearing your prayers. All right. Source, love, the thread of love that is woven through all things, whatever, something that is more powerful than you. I feel some Scorpios who are elusive with their thoughts, but I don't care. It's something beyond you. You've got to request help from divine unseen realms. You've got to believe in something, extraterrestrials, whatever. Be careful what you ask for. They are real and they are here. All right. So with your free will, they cannot help until you ask. I also want to say they will help you. They will also help if you lift up these other scenarios and people in your life who you feel might be struggling. All right. I find that I'm struggling with myself, worrying incessantly about my granddaughter who's living on her own in another place and whatever. So that takes up some of my time and it heavies my heart energy, right? So right here, that means sit in prayer instead of worry. Sit in prayer with God, with spirit, and say, Spirit, my granddaughter in the other town, I'm worried about her. Can you please show up in her life in whatever way she may need with her free will consent? Of course, right? Of course. So calling in the big guns upstairs and illuminating the pathway towards your concerns, worries, problems is really what I see here, because no one person knows better than any other in the situation that's going on here, Scorpio. We are all listening to our own inner compass, and some people are not really dialed into their inner compass yet, but you might be. I really feel like you are. But part of that is relinquishing control on other people and what they decide to do with themselves. Scorpio. If you enjoyed this reading, drop a comment. Let me know how it resonated with you, Scorpio. I do appreciate you. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe so you don't miss another thing from me. If you want to connect with me on a deeper level, my link is in your description box. Until the next one, I send you guys all the love and all the blessings. Bye, Scorpio.